Ready, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you everyone for coming today. Looks like right off the bat, we have a bid opening. If I could get the Parks Director to come up and tell us what we're doing here real quick before we open them.
Morning Commissioners, Mark Wall, Parks Director. We're opening bids today for Cooper Creek Rehabilitation Project. Specifically, this is for paving the east and west parking lots, basically redoing them.
Okay. What we got here is from LTN.
Squirrel guts. Something on that. Squirrel guts, isn't it?
Thank you.
First bid is from Knife River Materials, $757,393, excuse me.
757.
Okay, next one we got is from Black Pearl.
Bid from Black Pearl is $909,170.50.
Next one is from JRT Construction.
The bid from JRT Construction is $648,821.21.
All right, next is from Durbin Excavation.
Can you repeat that?
Durbin Excavating.
Bid from Durbin Excavating, $776,309.12.
All right, and the last one is from Morello Construction.
So the guys that did the-
The bid for Morello Construction is $682,095.00.
Okay, I trust you'll go through those and look them over and make a recommendation and come back to us with them, huh?
Yeah, we'll review the low bid for all the other details that they're supposed to include, and we'll be back to you with a
Is that
contract.
kind of in the range of what you were thinking on the budget?
Yes, yeah. Actually, a little bit under what I was expecting.
Okay, well, our next item on our agenda is our consent agenda, and while it's large, it's mostly a bunch of extensions of contracts. such, and we'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second. We have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and the motion passes. All right, next item on the agenda, citizens' questions and comments on the agenda items. We'll note that 9 and 10 are public hearings and the time to comment on them would be during those public hearings. Have anybody would like to make some comments? Anything online? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Commissioner Boyce, we got an intergovernmental agreement.
This is the intergovernmental agreement for a community development block grant. Essentially, this is a program that helps folks who are struggling to stay in their homes make necessary home repairs, and the intergovernmental agreement allows this work to be done throughout the entire county rather than just within the city limits of Roseburg if the county signs on to it. So that's why I'm making a recommendation. Move to approve the IGA.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
My understanding is the city of Roseburg's already administering this program and they just wanted to expand it, so I think it's a great idea to let more people take advantage of it.
My understanding too. Call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Next item is another Parks Department item. And up our Parks Director.
Morning again, Mark Wall, Parks Director. Before you have grant agreement ATV 2616 between Douglas County and Oregon Park and Rec Department, in the amount of $301,225. This will fund the replacement of the existing double vault toilet building with a new double flush toilet building with potable water, along with the installation of potable water faucets along the west side of the staging area next to the new power receptacles at the Dam Vance Lake staging area in Winchester Bay. Total project cost $402,600, the 25% match from the county in the amount of $101,375.
Move to approve the grant agreement.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any questions or
Quick
comments?
question, so this project will occur next fiscal year. My understanding is the $101,000 match is gonna come from your operating revenues? It'd be in next year's budget?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Anything else? I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. And item number 6.
Mark Wall, Parks Director. Before you have an amendment to service order number 3, contract 302728 between Douglas County and Access Parks for monthly recurring charges for managed services of cameras to be terminated on May 17th at the Umpqua Dunes RV Park.
Move to approve the contract amendment.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
We're switching to a different
Correct.
system.
Yeah, we're using Umpqua broadband and the rest of the park system, and we consolidate our camera system into one platform.
That makes a lot of sense. The agenda item doesn't really explain that, so we're still gonna have security monitoring and stuff. It's just
Correct.
with a different
And it's a
platform.
better and more responsive vendor than the service I've been getting.
Thank you for explaining that.
Call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. I have item number 7 is the next one, also a Parks Department item.
Correct. Mark Wall, Parks Director. Before you have a third amendment to grant agreement 41-01641/OP 2577 between Douglas County and Oregon Park and Recs Department to amend the effective agreement period from completed project date of 4/30/26 to 10/31/26 for Charles V. Stanton Park Upper Campground and Dave's area rehabilitation.
Sorry, I'll move to approve the grant agreement amendment.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Just real quick if I may. So this is another example of where this will affect the budget because it's gonna change.
No, it won't. What I can add is
Let me finish.
Okay.
So our ending fund budget and the current budget expected to have this money spent by the end of the fiscal year.
correct.
Because it won't quite be spent by the end of the fiscal year. Some of that'll carry over to next budget year, so it'll look like we had an increase of our ending fund balance because of the dates. It doesn't change your work, it doesn't change the cost of the project, but it does change the way the budget looks. We've had some people question why at the end of the year, the beginning fund for the next year is greater than the ending fund budgeted. It's because projects carry over. Yeah, it's nothing to do with you, it's a budgeting thing that occurs because we've changed dates and project finish dates. This is just an example of that. I'm gonna point those out because that seems to be a misunderstanding right now, so anytime we do that, I'm gonna point it out.
What I can add is the Park and Rec Department won't do extensions for less than 6 months at a time. And I fully expect this project to be completed in June and all payments made
Maybe
by
before,
the end of June. We may have a payment in July that'll roll back to.
but that's my point, is we're gonna be right on the edge of it, so it could affect the beginning fund balance. Thank you.
Anything else? With that, I'll call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 8 is Planning Department.
Good morning, Commissioners. Joshua Shackley, Douglas County Planning. Before you this morning is a board order to remand certain amendments to the County Land Use and Development Ordinance back to the County Planning Commission that were previously adopted by the Board of Commissioners and subsequently appealed to the Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA. LUBA remanded these amendments back to the county. I'm happy to provide any additional detail or answer any questions you may have.
So, make sure I got this right. My understanding is we basically had 4 amendments that went up, that we approved, Planning Commission approved, went up, and one of those, because they went up as a body, they all got appealed, but it's only one of them that was really the sticking point. So we're leaving that one alone and we're gonna redo the 3.
Yeah, I'll bring that one back separately from the others. This is
So that
just.
way that those 3 can go through and we work on them first.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what my understanding. Yeah, for motion.
I'll move to approve the board order.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Next item, number 9, is also a planning department item.
Good morning again, Joshua Shackley, Douglas County Planning. Before you this morning is a hearing and order incorporating territory for an annexation of property into North Douglas Fire District for property located at 2690 Bear Creek Road in Cottage Grove. The chief petitioner is Nancy Carpin. Subject property consists of a dwelling on about 40 acres and is zoned timber resource. Staff has reviewed and found the annexation to be in compliance with the county comprehensive plan and statewide planning goals, and there are no known objectors at this time.
Any questions of staff before we open up public meeting? Nope. I'm gonna open up a public hearing. Take testimony on this matter. Anybody would like to provide testimony on the, now's the time to do it. Okay. Seeing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing. Pleasure of the board.
We'll move to approve the annexation of the property and the order incorporating the territory.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Shackley, I think you got another one.
I do. Joshua Shackley, Douglas County Planning, good morning. Before you this morning is a hearing and order incorporating territory for annexation of property into Fair Oaks Rural Fire District. Subject property is located at 372 Fraser Canyon Road in Sutherland. Chief petitioner is Stephen McCracken. Subject property consists of a dwelling on about 56.5 acres and is zoned farm forest. Staff has reviewed the petition and found it to be in compliance with our comprehensive plan and statewide planning goals, and there are no known objectors.
Questions, staff? Okay, open a public hearing. Now it's time to testify on this matter. Anybody like to come forward? Anybody online? Close the public hearing. Pleasure of the board.
I'll move to approve the board order and the order incorporating territory.
I'll second that.
You have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Next item is a Public Works Department item. I'm gonna go ahead and take this for Public Works Director. He's over working in the Reedsport area today. This is an amendment to an IGA between, it's a third amendment. ODOT and Work Crew replaces revised Exhibit A2 with revised Exhibit A3 and Exhibit B with revised Exhibit B. The amendments are determined by the state and agency, and they refer to increasing the amounts payable to Douglas County for us providing them work crew services. And I would move to approve the agreement, the amendment to the agreement.
Second that.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for question. Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Next item is a solid waste department item.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nick Freisinger, Solid Waste. Item number 12 is for an intergovernmental agreement between Douglas County and the City of Yoncalla for RV storage and disposal.
Move to approve the IGA.
And I will second that.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Just make a quick comment. Thank you for getting this done. This is another city that's wanting, that we're helping them take care of the RV problems. Thank you for that. Call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes. Thank you, Nick. Next item is commissioner comments.
Do you have an off agenda item?
I did one off agenda item I'd like to consider.
Yeah.
So there's some talk around the county through a couple different avenues. There was a conference call the other day with CCD and Business Oregon and some folks about a renewal of what's called opportunity zones. And we currently have an opportunity zone area that's approved over in Reedsport, and they have had some success in having some investment in their community because of this particular opportunity. Some of you may have heard me talk about enterprise zones in the past, which is an economic development tool. I'm not super fond of enterprise zones. Enterprise zones are some examples of companies that have used enterprise zones in the past are like Dell Computers came and took advantage of the tax opportunity or the tax break, and then when that period was over, they moved away. There's been others. Enterprise zones are an opportunity that the state created that gives away.
Opportunity zones.
I'm talking about enterprise zones for the time being. They give away the counties and taxing districts' property taxes in order for job creation that the state makes money on. And for that reason, us and the other local taxing districts sort of understand the importance for economic development purposes, but don't really like it because it affects our bottom line. The opportunity zones are different. Opportunity zones are created for folks who have made some wise investments in other areas and are cashing out those investments and maybe looking at a considerable capital gains tax. And it gives them the opportunity to reinvest that money in projects within these zones in order to get some relief on those capital gains taxes. And types of projects that might be eligible are like low income housing tracts and things like that. Anyway, the city of Reedsport is wanting to renew their opportunity zone tract over at the coast. And this is just a letter of support from us, saying that we're in favor of the state doing that. It is a competitive process around the state. There's only so many of them allowed throughout the state. And this one has been a good opportunity over there and created some movement. So my recommendation is that we support the city of Reedsport in that effort. And that we agree to sign this letter of support and send it back to them. I would make a motion to that effect.
And I'll second that. And just a quick
Yeah,
clarification.
question, comment?
And you talked about zones, but there's also tracks within the zone, right? So is it like 3 tracks?
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Boyce?
Aye.
Commissioner Freeman?
Aye.
Chair votes aye and motion passes too. Any other off agenda items?
Not me.
Commissioner comments, Commissioner Boyce?
None for me.
Commissioner Freeman?
Nothing today?
I have nothing either. That, and adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming.